Welcome to a comprehensive deep dive into Apple's future software vision. Because today we're exploring a brand new leak that reveals potential features coming to iOS 26.4, iOS 27, and even iOS 28. And if this report is accurate, Apple is preparing some of the most meaningful software upgrades we've seen in years, according to Macworld's Felipe Esposito, who claims to have accessed references inside the code of a leaked internal build of iOS 26 that was never meant to be seen by the public. And while it's important to say up front that Apple's plans can always change and nothing here is guaranteed until officially announced, these code-level hints give us an unusually detailed look at what Apple's software engineers may already be testing behind closed doors. And the biggest takeaway from this leak is simple: Apple is going all in on artificial intelligence, health, ecosystem integration, and smarter personalization across iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, AirPods, Apple TV, and even the Mac. Starting with iOS 26.4, which appears to be shaping up as a feature-packed update rather than a minor point release, with the headline feature being a revamped and far more personalized version of Siri powered by Apple Intelligence. And this is huge because Siri has long lagged behind competitors in terms of contextual understanding and natural interaction. But according to the leak, Apple is working on a version of Siri that understands user behavior more deeply, adapts to personal routines, and delivers responses that feel less robotic and more assistant-like, potentially allowing Siri to anticipate needs, understand follow-up questions better, and interact more intelligently with apps and system features. And if Apple executes this correctly, this could finally mark Siri's transformation from a basic voice command tool into a true AI-powered digital assistant that actually feels useful in everyday life. And alongside Siri, Apple is reportedly planning a major redesign of the Health app in iOS 26.4, with a cleaner layout, reorganized health categories, and simplified metric logging that makes it easier for users to track vital data without feeling overwhelmed. And this redesign becomes even more interesting when paired with rumors of an Apple Health Plus subscription service, which could introduce an AI-powered health and fitness assistant that analyzes your data, offers personalized recommendations, and helps you understand long-term trends in areas like activity, sleep, heart health, and overall wellness, signaling Apple's intent to turn a health app into a more proactive platform rather than just a passive data collector. And if you think about Apple's long-term strategy, this makes perfect sense, because health has become one of Apple's strongest competitive advantages, especially with Apple Watch. And expanding this intelligence through software could lock users even deeper into the ecosystem. Another practical yet impactful feature allegedly coming to iOS 26.4 is autofill support for credit card details stored inside Apple's Passwords app when using third-party applications, which may not sound flashy at first, but from a usability and security perspective, it's a big deal because it reduces friction when making payments while still keeping sensitive information protected within Apple's secure ecosystem, making the iPhone feel more seamless as a digital wallet beyond Safari and Apple Pay. And productivity is also getting a boost, with the Freeform app reportedly gaining the ability to create folders, a feature many users have been requesting since Freeform launched. Because as collaborative boards grow in number, organization becomes essential, and this simple addition can make Freeform far more practical for students, professionals, and creatives who rely on it for brainstorming and planning, and entertainment may also see changes. As the leak references Apple working on a new sports tier for the Apple TV app. Although details are scarce, this could hint at a dedicated subscription or curated sports experience that consolidates live games, highlights, and sports-related content into a single hub, potentially expanding Apple's growing ambitions in sports streaming. And security appears to be another major focus, with signs of a new validation system that checks the integrity of a device before logging into Apple ID and iCloud, which will help prevent unauthorized access, compromised devices, and sophisticated account takeover attempts, reinforcing Apple's reputation for prioritizing user privacy and security. And AirPods users also have something to look forward to in iOS 26.4, with new features including precise outdoor location in the Find My app, which can make tracking lost AirPods outdoors far more accurate, especially in urban environments, parks, or travel scenarios where traditional Bluetooth tracking can be unreliable. And taken together, these iOS 26.4 features suggest a release that focuses on intelligence, usability, security, and deeper ecosystem integration, rather than surface-level visual changes. But a leak doesn't stop there, because iOS 27 is already being referenced inside this internal build. And the features planned for that update continue the same themes, starting with improvements to photo collections in the Photos app, which could mean smarter categorization, better grouping of memories, enhanced search powered by on-device AI, and more. Intuitive ways to browse years of photos and videos without feeling lost. And given how central the Photos app is to the iPhone experience, even small improvements here can have a massive impact on daily use. And AirPods pairing is also reportedly getting improvements in iOS 27, which could reduce connection issues, speed up device switching, and make the initial setup process even more effortless, reinforcing Apple's goal of making its ecosystem feel invisible, where devices just work together, without friction. And perhaps the most intriguing part of the leak is the mention of a potential iOS 28 feature, which is unusual because Apple typically doesn't leave such long-term clues in internal builds. But according to report, Apple is working on new metrics for Apple Watch sleep tracking, which could introduce more advanced insights into sleep stages, recovery, consistency, and long-term health correlations, pushing Apple Watch closer to being a full-fledged health monitoring tool, rather than just a fitness accessory. And this ties directly into another major revelation, that Apple is allegedly planning to expand the Health app to the Mac with macOS 28, allowing users to view, analyze, and interact with their health data on a larger screen, which would be especially useful for long-term trend analysis, medical consultations, or users who prefer managing data on a desktop. And when you step back and look at this leak as a whole, a clear picture emerges. Apple is building a future where AI, health, and ecosystem continuity are at the center of the user experience, not as optional extras, but as core pillars of how iPhone, Apple Watch, AirPods, Apple TV, and Mac work together. And while it's crucial to remember that Apple's plans can change, and some of these features may be delayed, modified, or canceled entirely, the fact that they're already referenced in internal code suggests serious development is underway. And now for the recommendation. If you're an Apple user, the smartest move right now is to keep your devices updated, stay informed about upcoming software changes, and pay attention to how Apple is positioning AI and health across its ecosystem, because these updates could significantly change how you interact with your devices over the next few years. And if you're considering buying new Apple hardware, especially AirPods or Apple Watch, these rumored features might be worth waiting for, as future software support could unlock even more value from your devices. And if you enjoyed this detailed breakdown of Apple's future software leaks, make sure to stay connected for more in-depth analysis, updates,